Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So, have every one of you perform your Zuhur prayer?
Alhamdulillah.
Before we proceed, let's start our ceremony with Al-Fatiha. Okay, it's 2 p.m. now, so shall we get started?
Yes.
Thanks for being punctual for the meeting. By the way, Madam Samia, our director, cannot join us today because she has to meet a client in the airport.
Oh, okay. I also just want to inform that our new staff, Mr. Fatah Amin, cannot join this meeting today because he need to send his son to hospital. So please, we pray for him together, inshallah.
Right, thanks for informing me. Please send him my well wishes.
Inshallah, I will.
Okay, let's look at our last meeting minutes. Does everybody have a copy?
Yes. I selected the minutes. Everybody yesterday.
Okay, thanks for fun. Good. So I hope you have looked at the minutes earlier.
Yes.
Are there any amendments to be made?
Yes, I have an amendment. For the last meeting, there was a slight mistake on spelling of my name. The right spelling is Hafetz. And also, the cost of our last program was 5,400 ringgit, not 5,300 ringgit.
Okay, you're right about that. Mr. Safwan, please take note of that.
I am sure.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I think no, sir. Yes. We can
Okay.
proceed.
So, can anyone confirm the last minutes of meeting?
I confirm the last minutes of meeting.
Can anyone second the motion?
I would like to second the motion.
Okay, thanks. So, I will sign the minutes as the correct record.
Right.
Before we proceed to our main agenda for today, are there any matters to bring up?
I think go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Afiq, I'd just like to inform everybody that the director had approved 250,000 ringgit to support our budget depletion for the next half a year.
Oh, Alhamdulillah.
Wow, that's great news. Alhamdulillah. Let's just hope that we don't overspend our budget and use that allocation wisely.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
May Allah bless us.
Inshallah.
Alright, the purpose of today's meeting is to discuss means of cutting down on office expenditure and plan the next course of actions so that we can overcome our office financial problems. So, before we start, I give you 1 minute to prepare our agenda. Okay, shall we start now?
Yes.
Okay, let's start by looking at item number 1 of our agenda. Mr. Hafez,
Yes.
I believe you are in charge of the utilities usage in our office, right?
Yes, that's right. For the utilities, I think that we should reduce the usage of electricity and water as we have to pay a lot for these utilities.
Okay, how do you think that we can reduce this usage?
I suggest that we put a memo beside every switches as a reminder for the staff to be prudent. And do you guys notice that there is a broken pipe in the men's toilet?
Oh,
Yes, yes.
I second floor, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that we should fix that as soon as possible.
yes.
I agree with that.
Besides, I realized that some of our staff sleeping in the empty room. They also use the air conditioner for their own good.
Right.
So, I think that we should lock the empty room.
Yes.
In my experience, the air conditioner also must be serviced once a month, as it will cost a lot of electricity usage. So we should service it once a month.
Yes, that's very right.
And I think that we should cut the newspaper subscription.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hafiz. May I know your rationale on this thing?
The rationale of cutting down the newspaper
Yes.
is to reduce our expenses, and from what I see, only Mr. Bashir that read the newspaper.
Right.
And we can read the newspaper online.
I agree with Mr. Hafiz. Nowadays, everything is online.
Yes.
Magazines, newspapers, and books, and so on. So I think we should take advantages from this technology. For Mr. Bashir, let us move to the new era of technology.
Yes, I
Okay.
think so. We can make it very easy, right?
Yes,
Yes.
we can make it better.
Yes.
Everything is in our hand.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Well done, Mr. Hafiz. Good. Now let's move on to the next item, which is social event.
Oh, yes.
So, Mr. Ayi, you're in charge, right?
Yes, sir. I am. Okay, maybe I think we also can cutting down on office expenditure by cutting our social event cost. Okay, so guys, as we know, for the last year, we spent so much our money only for the events. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, in 2016, we spent almost 500,000 only for our annual grand dinner. 500,000 is very much.
Too expensive.
Yes, so this is not for every event, only for AGM. This is not include our iftar grand, our shower celebration, award ceremony, and others. So maybe I think we can cut our cost from this. It is a social event. So actually there is no problem if we want to have a joy or we want to celebrate our staff, we want to have a award ceremony. But we as a Muslim, we need to be humble. We cannot spend our money so much. We cannot be waste. This is what Islam teaches us. We need to be prudent, right?
Yes.
So
Excuse me, Mr. Nguno.
yes, Mr. Sapuan.
So, do you have any suggestion regarding your opinion?
Oh, okay. Actually, I've done a little bit of research about the hotel. Actually, for the every years we take maybe the Bahagi Hotel at Kuala Lumpur. Actually, at this hotel, we spend almost 90,000 only for a night.
90,000?
Yes, this is not include the food and catering. But I think maybe we can take a look at a new hotel. Based on my survey, I surveyed two hotels. One hotel at Ampang and one hotel at Putrajaya. The first hotel is Hijau Hotel. This hotel is more cheaper. It's cheaper. This is because if we want to order this, we only pay 30,000 for a night. This is not include food and catering. But if you want to add some food and catering, we only add 10,000. It costs 40,000 only. And for the second hotel, it's at Bernama Hotel. This is at Putrajaya. Okay, this hotel is cheapest because it will cost only 25,000.
Excuse me, Mr. Emo.
Yes, Mr. Bashir.
It's nice. And then how do you have any way?
Oh, okay. Actually, I also think other way. The other way is if we want to take hotel without the food and catering, we can take outside catering. Okay. For your information, actually I surveyed about the two caterer. Okay, the first caterer is Abdul Rahman Caterer. This is very good because Abdul Rahman Catering offer us 10 ringgit per person, and they provide us nasi Arab, drinks provide orange juice, and for the dessert, we can choose it. Okay, the second choice is Siti Hajar Catering. Siti Hajar Catering is cheapest. It only offer us 7 ringgit per person, but it only provide white rice and chicken black pepper with drinks. No dessert lah.
Excuse me, Mr. Aminullah.
Yes.
How about we search for a sponsorship?
Oh, good idea. Actually, we can get a sponsorship from our customer or from our dealer, maybe from our supplier. And Mr. Afiq, I think we can collect money, a little bit of money from our staff, maybe for the ceremony. It's if they want to go, so it will reduce our cost to spend it.
Well, that will reduce our expenditure a lot. I agree with that. So when we have a ceremony, we should choose between the two
The
categories.
cheapest one, maybe.
The cheapest
The
one.
cheapest, and maybe we can take the quality one. So we want to compare with the last year, more cheaper. Cheapest.
Okay, that's great. Right, now that we have obtained some updates on utilities usage and social events,
Yes.
so right now we have to work on the use of paper, printing, and office stationery. Mr. Safwan, I need you to report on this. Is that right?
So like, first of all, I would like to inform to all of you that our company have 300 staff working here. 300 staff. Each of our staff will be provided with office stationery, and we will provide 250 set of A4 papers per month. Total up, we spend 66,000 ringgit just for papers, printing, and office stationery.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a huge
Huge
amount.
amount.
But I believe we can reduce the cost because I saw many times our staff using papers and printers unwisely.
Oh.
So I suggest we hire a worker just to be the person in charge for the printing. So this person will monitor how our staff use the papers and printings. So with this action, I think we can optimize the use of paper and can reduce the cost of printers maintenance.
Yes, of course.
Yes, that's true.
I have a question. For the point of you hire a worker, what do you mean by that? Is that you want to hire a new worker or our staff themselves to be the worker to monitor our staff?
Oh, actually,
To monitor the usage of the
I've not yet decided whether we will use our own staff or a new staff. So if anyone have any suggestion about these things,
I think we use our own staff to monitor this. Maybe we should create a schedule to monitor that.
I agree with that.
Very good ideas.
We can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Safwan. That's great. Does anyone of you have recommendations on other ways to cut our expenditure?
Okay, based on the training cost in the last year training cost program, our company spent about 3,000 ringgit for training junior staff, and that amount is too much, and we need to cut the cost because of the economic factor. That's why I try to seek the training program which do not too expensive. So I got the training program who can provide a reasonable and affordable price, which is about 2,300 ringgit. And I believe we can cut the cost if we take this way.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with Mr. Bashir. Other than that, do you have any suggestion, Mr. Amar?
Yes, I do. Okay, as we know, our company is using a system, overtime system. Okay, this system has used a lot of money, which is the money is used to pay the staff who taking overtime. In my opinion, I would like to stop this system so we can cut the office expenditure. So our company will only available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. Besides, not all of the staff are really working during the overtime. Some of them uh, will slacking during the overtime because overtime not all of us are there at the office, so maybe they will slack off. So uh, that is why I suggest why we should stop this overtime. Other than that, as a Muslim, we need to balance between dunya and akhirat, which is work and ibadah.
I agree with your opinion as we can balance the dunya and akhirat.
Yes, because it is what in our religion want us to do. Okay, so after 5 o'clock, the staff can focus on their family and ibadah and forget all the things that happen during the work, all the problems. Okay, so it is essential for to stop this overtime system. That is my opinion. Thank you.
So, Mr. Wang, that's your mean that our company will operate only from 9 until 5,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I want to make you as the person in charge to inform of the new company regulations to all of our staff.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Before we end this meeting, is there any other business from anyone? Let's go around the table. Mr. Hafez, Mr. Bashir, Mr. Awang, Mr. Safwan, and Mr. Aib.
I have sorry. I just need to inform everybody that our cafeteria on the basement floor will be closed for 3 days for renovation work. So it will be closed start on Monday and will open for business as usual on Thursday.
Oh,
So I hope everybody can inform your department about this.
So where will we go to eat? We have to go out.
I'm sorry, we have to do like this for just 3 days.
Oh, we don't know. So I will suggest we can bring along food from house.
Yes, of course.
okay, Mr. Fik, maybe I just want to report about our musola at the 3rd floor. Do you recognize about the musola?
Yes.
Maybe what I see in the musola, the item in the musola is
old.
very old and maybe it's smelly also. The carpet,
Oh.
the
Yes, yes.
sejadah, and the telepon for women. So I think that maybe we can replace it with a new item, or if one of us want to donate some item, or maybe if we have a tent, we will clear it and we can do some hygiene in the musola. It's more, we can make our musola great, inshallah.
Yes,
Inshallah.
Okay, that's a good idea. Maybe we should discuss about it later.
Okay, boleh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks Mr. Safwan and Mr. Aib. Anything else?
No, sir.
I think there's nothing.
Okay, good. Let's set the date for our next meeting, shall we?
Yes, okay.
I suggest 12 June 2017 on Monday at 10:30 a.m. in this room. Is that okay?
12 June.
Oh, 12 June. I'm okay, sir.
I'm also okay.
I'm sorry, sir. I have to meet a client on that day.
Oh. What about 13 June 2017?
In June, I also.
Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Oh, sorry sir, on 30 June, actually I have an appointment of medical checkup from an accident today. So maybe we can postpone it.
Okay. I think the next meeting will be held on 15 June.
15 June on Thursday.
15 June.
I'm free. I'm free.
Okay sir.
I'm okay with that.
Well, it's already 2:40 p.m. I guess that's all for today's meeting. Thank you for coming. I'll see you next time.
Yes,
InsyaAllah.
thank you sir. Thank you sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.